Well, and so one part of it is people don't count their money, their time as money. So the time that you're putting into starting something, those months you're making zero income. And so you're investing and not getting a return. Even if you're not investing anyway, you got to put a value on the amount of time that you're putting into that. But the other side is what people don't realize is that when you're buying an existing business, they think that the bank, they think that investors, they think people are going to treat you the same way that they've been treated when they tried to go and get money for their startup and nobody wanted to give them money. The reason nobody wanted to give them money is because the numbers speak. Statistically, you're not going to make it. And so when you switch over to buying a business, they think, oh, it's going to be the same way. It's going to be so difficult. I can't get the money. Actually, it's the opposite. Banks love, I have banks beating down my door every day. Hey, when's your next deal? You know, what kind of deals are you looking at? We want to make sure that you come to us to finance. So I don't go to them, they come to me because these are the kinds of deals that they want to finance. So when you bring this to the table, you know, the average startup might get access to about $100,000. They're really aggressively pursuing capital. The average, just normal business, we use a lot of strategies to get a lot more than this, but just the average acquisition, banks will give $950,000.
You know, I've been telling you all weekend, that's wild because so much of what we've been talking about the last 2 days reminds me so much of real estate. And from a few different angles, right? Say like real estate, you can read, you can study for 30, 40 years, but until you do your first deal, like it's all theory. And that's when you really learn. I feel like I didn't learn real estate until I got that first transaction, good, bad, indifferent, right? Then it was like, boom, like all them years of reading meant nothing, right? Because it like, boom, just escalated my actual education. And I feel like this too, like people need to actually get into it and make it happen. But then the other thing, like you talked about, I learned in real estate, hey, you know what? It was a lot easier to get funding for a multifamily than a single family. For the same reason that you said, because it already had established numbers. It already had a profit and loss statement, already had rent rolls, all those things. You're saying like, hey, that established business already has the data. So it's like removing the thinking of personal finance, I feel like.
It is. And so, you know, there are two parts that I love the analogy of real estate because one of the things with real estate is you can read about a strategy. I'm going to go and I'm going to use a lease option strategy or I'm a wholesale, whatever the case is. But unlike the stock market or some of these other things, the real opportunity and the real growth are all those small things in between. So it's as you do more deals, tonality and connecting with the owner of a piece of real estate, that very first phone call and knowing the words to say, you know, as you go through the closing and you're negotiating, it's the nuance of how can I put this together and how can I sell it to this home seller in a way that they're going to feel like, oh, this is a great deal for me, even if it is a good deal for you. And so those are things that you just have to practice. You know, nobody's teaching you the nuance and the tonality and all those things. You practice and you get better and better at that. And so, you know, I liken it to art. I liken it to basketball. You know, this isn't just a stock and a graph. You know, the really great thing about this is, you know, you can get access to tremendous amounts of capital. You're getting cash flow day one. So when you're working on something, you're getting this income. But the opportunity and what makes that even possible is, number one, there are very few people with this skill set, but number two, it takes the practice. You can't just watch some videos and get really good at this. So that's one of the things I'm always telling people, it's like, get started. Don't try to learn everything and then get started. You're gonna get better and better as you're actually doing these deals.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Traffic Sales and Profit Show. Hey, do me a favor, if you enjoyed what you heard today, subscribe and follow us on this platform right now to make sure you do not miss a beat as we drop new episodes and additional content every single week. Also, if you'd like to get access to a free paperback copy of my book, access to the TSP Traffic Sales and Profit free Facebook group, our challenges, resources, our events, and more, make sure you visit us at www.trafficsalesandprofit.com/podcast.